All right, welcome. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream. James with Team Finish Strong here this afternoon in Zwift, Squatopia. And we are going to be doing the Tour de Zwift. And I have to tell you, I already missed stage one, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do the tour this year or not. That will be explained in a second, but I felt like I needed to jump on and do a live stream. It has been so long, I almost forgot how to do it. It has been that long, folks. So glad to have you joining today. We are in the world of Zwift, and for those of you who are either new to the channel or new to this type of live stream, this is a virtual cycling simulator that mirrors your real-world inputs on the screen. So if I give it a little push of the pedals, my avatar does the same. So it mirrors your real-life efforts, and it is a fantastic virtual environment in order to get and stay fit. It also is a lot of fun because you can ride or race alongside folks up to the best cyclists in the world. Yes, I have seen some top cyclists here in the world of Zwift, and every now and then you'll run across one or two of them. So this is what we're doing today. We've got 3 minutes to get ready for the event. I'm just warming up at this point. And I will be honest with you guys, if you're looking for Zwift racing today, there's not going to be any racing today or probably the foreseeable future on this channel. I'll explain more about that in a minute as well. But suffice it to say, I am here. I am still alive and jumping back here on the bike after a very long absence on the live stream. So glad to have you guys here with us. And for those of you who are used to these live streams in the past, I really appreciate you coming back. Feel free to post your comments in the chat. What we're looking to accomplish today is a completion of the event at a social ride pace. That's about all I can do right now. I've had a lot. I have had a lot go on this year. For those of you who have watched some of my other types of videos on my channel, you know that back in September, my wife passed away, and that was a very hard thing for me and my family to go through. And we're still recovering. It takes a while to recover from grief, I have to tell you, folks. Even for believers in Christ, where we have the hope of eternal life and reunion with our loved ones, which I am hoping for that reunion with my wife one day, it still hurts. The loss still hurts. In fact, it probably hurts all that much more because of the closeness that a husband and wife has in their union with Christ. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and I appreciate you all's grace with respect to where my current state of health and my current state of fitness is. It's just not where it was when you guys last saw me. Many months off the bike to any great degree. So just now coming back, and hopefully some of my more serious health concerns are behind me, and I can start rebuilding back to some level, as of yet to be determined. So we will see what my body allows me to do. I think a lot of what my health concerns is I'm finally starting to feel what age feels like. You know, for those of you who are 50 plus, you know what I'm talking about. It just creeps up on you, and suddenly one day you find out you can't do what you used to do, and your body will protest if you try. And that's where I think I'm at. So having to accept my new situation in life in that regards. So since we are going to be doing the tour at a hands-free pace, cool. I love the emoji thumbs ups. That is a nice touch. That is a nice touch, and I have to make sure I give some back. But I'm going to be going at a very slow pace today, so that I don't make any doctors upset at me. But because of that, I want to welcome you guys to join along. I want to join along. So if you are interested, if you are a Zwift member and are interested in riding along the Tour de Zwift on the live stream, let me know in the chat over here and or in the comments afterwards, and I will make sure to post. Well, truthfully, for an event like this, there is no posting. It's not really like a group ride where I have to invite folks. You just show up, and I'll let you know what event, date, and time I'll be doing next, so that you can join in. And I don't have Discord figured out, unfortunately, so any kind of group ride chat is going to have to either be done in-game or on the YouTube app in the comments and the chat. So anyhow, folks, this is the Tour de Zwift. We're in stage 2, and we are in the world of Richmond. Now, Richmond is one of the smallest worlds in Zwift. It has I think, just a couple of routes. If there's more than that, I'd be surprised. They may have mixed it up with some directions as far as forwards and reverse, but for the most part, Richmond is a very short course, and in fact, it's so short that we'll be able to cover 3 laps of this course, well, plus a lead-in, a little lead-in, plus a lead-in, in about 30 minutes, I'm thinking today. James, hey, good to see you, man. Yes, I am trying to start back into live stream mode. We'll see how my body handles this. And speaking of how my body's going to handle it, as you can see here, I'm keeping it really light and easy. So if you do want to join in and want to have a leisurely group to hang with, and if you want to get on the live stream, then feel free to join in. I was going to take a peek here and see who's all around us. I'm not the last person, thankfully. But we've got a nice little leisurely group that we're riding with right here. And I'm trying to keep it between 1.0 and 1.5 is what I'm trying to do, so that my heart rate stays in zone 2, I believe. Zone 2 is what we're trying to do today. And every event that I'll be doing will be the short event. And if the short event is not short enough, I may not do it. I'll just be honest with you. So I don't know if I'm going to complete all of the events. If they try to send me up the Alpe Zwift, forget it. Last time I did it, it took me almost 3 hours to do at these kind of a pace. So we'll just see. I haven't really scoped out what the future stages look like yet. I bet some of you are really on top of it. I used to be on top of it, but we'll find out what's up next and whether or not I can do another live stream with you guys. But we'd love to have you join in. I really enjoyed it, Emiliano, if you're watching, when you and Greg would join along on some of these stages. So looking forward to some folks participating. And James, certainly. Understand, it's your rest days. No worries there. And if you happen to end up being available on one of these live stream days, feel free to join in. I will try to post when I am riding in the Zwift app, Zwift Companion app, at least a couple of days in advance. I'll try to do the next stage later this afternoon, so you all can figure out if you want to join the same stage. All right? Something like that. This is, and will forever be, on this series, a leisurely group ride pace. Not going to be doing any racing. No racing. Sorry, guys. As much as the sprinter in me would love to take on that one sprint zone that we passed by and will be passing by a few times, it's just not in the cards for me these days. All right. Well, this is a really nice world. And for those of you who have been in the world of Zwift for a while, you will have noticed that they have spruced up Richmond quite a bit. They have added quite a few design elements to the buildings, to the people, and I think even some of the dynamics, some of the dynamic elements are refreshed. I know they did that probably in the last year or two. So they are really investing in their worlds. So the companion app, James, basically, if I put if I go ahead and log in the Tour de Zwift event, which stage I'm riding and which group A, B, or C on which time, if you follow me, you should be able to see that there's someone that you follow riding in that event, and you can check and see if it's me. So if it's your riding day, James, for example, and you want to check and see if I'm riding in that event, I think you can use the filters to find out. You may not be able to find out me specifically until you go into the rider list, but you can at least find out that someone you follow is riding. So I think that's the best way to do it. What I can do is when I set the date and time, I can put it in the comments of the video after it posts to YouTube. So I'll be doing that on YouTube, not on anything with Twitch. Okay, so if you're looking for it, you can look for it there as well. And of course, all dates and times are subject to change. It really is going to depend on how I feel day to day and the consequences that I suffer from getting out and riding today. It is it's a touch and go thing for me. I hate to say it with my health right at this point. I have to be careful. So this has been pretty much the level of riding I have been doing in Zwift, with occasional bursts for like the last, I'd say, maybe month, and it's been okay. It's been all right. So still learning where I can exert myself and how often and for how long. It's learning one's body as I adjust to this new normal is kind of a trial and error thing. But anyhow, since we've got plenty of time to socialize here over the next 25 minutes or so, if you guys have any topics you want to bring up, either in or outside the world of Zwift, feel free to hit me up. It's been a very long time since I've chatted with some of you guys. So, would love to hear some of your thoughts. Like, for example, I'll put the first question out there. How many stages is there in the Tour de Zwift? I really have not been paying attention. I just have seen in the app that there's a long string of circles. So I'm guessing there's a lot of stages. Anybody know the exact count? If you do, let me know. And for that matter, what the next stage is. Because if I remember correctly, Zwift, being the all-encompassing tour, is going to hit every world, and it's probably, we're going to see climbing, we're going to see off-road, we're going to see all of that. So, anyhow, that's my prediction, is that it's going to be a lot of riding that I am either not used to or not fond of. But, hey, at 100 watts, anything's doable. Well, let's see here, guys. Either I outrode the slow group, or the slow group has left me in the dust. I think looks like I have gained a slight advantage on some of my similarly situated compatriots here. Truth be told, if I was really riding around, 8 stages, okay, that's reasonable. That's doable, James. Thank you. Truth be told, if I was riding around Richmond, streets cleared like this, I'd probably want to ride at this pace anyway, and get a nice gander at what is going on in that world. So if I were to do some of this and some of this, then I can share some of all of this beautiful Zwift imagery with you all. There's the sprint zone, and there's the sprint. It is a 90-watt sprint. 90-watt sprint. It's going to take a lot longer than the leaders to get there. You know, It was funny. James, maybe you might remember this. One of my very, very old live streams was a tour, and we might actually see it on this particular tour. There went to the World of Bologna, which is an events only venue, and I remember hitting that hill hard, and and at the steepest section, which is where that zigzag sort of is, I remember watching pedestrians climbing that staircase at a rate that was faster than I was riding. And I was kind of shocked, actually. I was like, man, I just need to get off my bike and walk up this thing. But which probably actually happens in real life. I don't know if it would happen that way in the real world. But at the gradients we're talking about, I would not be surprised. I know nowadays when I go up the Alpe Zwift, which is infrequent at best, I have seen a couple of very motivated joggers outpace me, which is hard to accept as a cyclist. You know, we as cyclists are always used to seeing, you know, feet walkers going that direction, not that direction. So it's always hard, as it doesn't sit very well as a cyclist to see somebody pass you on 2 feet. But you know, it happens nowadays for me for sure. Well, this is interesting. We've got some folks up ahead in yellow, and I really don't know what that means. If you all know what it means over here, why there was some yellow in the rider's toolbar, I would like to know. I'm not sure what that actually means right now. Yeah, see that first rider? I really don't know what that's supposed to tell us these days. That is kind of new to me. That is very new to me. It goes to show I've been out of Zwift for a while. Yeah, this stage can be uber fast because all of the sprinters love this stage, and I bet they were out crushing it on the sprint zones. Well, James, I am with you, man. You know, different situation, but same result. You know, we're both recovering and trying to get our fitness back, and I wish you well with your situation as well. Getting back into full fitness, I hope, and pray. You know, speaking of fitness, I'm at such a level here that I don't even think it's worth me using this arrow power up. I don't know exactly where it would benefit me, if at all, on this tour. So, but you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. Or you just lose all the power-ups that you would have otherwise gotten. So I may do a power-up here. Maybe this is the section to do it. Let me see. Where is this? Okay, yeah, we're heading downhill. Sure, let's do it. Why not? This would be a nice little test to see if it actually makes a difference at this speed. 31 kph, or about, what, 18, 19 miles an hour? Yeah, it looks like it does. It does indeed. I've gained a distinct lead as a result of this for a very short time until everybody else catches up. Oh, there's bots. Now that is cool. Now that is new and cool. That is great. So they're bots. But James, what are the bots' fitness levels? Like, what are they what watts per kilogram are they riding at? You know, I didn't happen to see while they were on the screen a short while ago. It's not ABC because ABC is being used for distance now. I wonder what it's all about. But that's great to know. That is great to know. I unfortunately have spent very little time in Zwift lately. It's been just the reality. I've kind of shifted to some other things such as walking and some strength training, mild strength training to the extent that I feel that I can, and riding when I feel really good, which has been today. So All right. Well, we are making slow and steady progress here. 12 kilometers in, almost 13 in. And probably, how many we got? No, that's 12.8 to go, 6.6 kilometers in. See, I am getting rusty on my Zwift. My Zwift my Zwift overlays. All right, well, we got a little Peloton here now. And I think if well, we're going up a little grade here. We'll see what they do. If they push it past 1.5, which they are doing, then I will have to say goodbye. All right, well, such as it is. Well, if anything, James, maybe I'll catch a second chance before this is all done to hop on with the bots as they catch up on maybe the second to third lap, you know? Let's see where I'm at. According to the overhead, I have got a bot, you know, not too far behind me, but I can't really tell what that actually is, what distance. And probably in true Zwift fashion is probably the fastest bot, so probably not the one I want to get. So this is proof positive, guys. This is super easy. You guys can join in. If you're looking to even do an active recovery day and get some junk miles on Zwift, you know, you can hop on and keep me company. And who is that guy doing 5 watts a kilo? Whew. He looked like he had an e-bike. Well, we are approaching about halfway, it looks like. Halfway to the finish. And too bad there wasn't a downhill for the finish. Or at least I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure all these laps are the same. Am I right, James? They're all flat and they're all around and probably finishing up, I'm guessing, at the sprint banner is where it finishes up. I'm just guessing that. I don't know. I don't know if we veer off this loop for a finish somewhere else. I did not do any course recon, unfortunately. This is the C route, which is 3 laps of the fan flats. Wow, there they go. I didn't see any, did not see any bots, so I guess that's just the race leaders, the ones that are really pushing it. And doing so quite well, I might add. Coco and a couple others. So a C pace bot and slower is what we're talking here. Okay. Well, that's a reasonable amount. And too bad, you know, the one that I think I could hang with nowadays, if any, is the 1.1D bot. I think, you know, that's kind of what we're doing right at the moment. I think any faster, and I'd probably have to take some breaks, I'm guessing. Yeah, Yorkshire definitely will put a dent in your legs. No leg snapper, but I remember that. I remember when, probably of all the Zwift races that I've ever done, and I tend to avoid the hill races like like the Epic KOM and the Alp Zwift and such. But of all the races I've ever raced, Yorkshire was definitely the hardest. I would have to say that. I always got dropped on that big climb after that long downhill, where you make a dogleg left at the bridge, the stone bridge, I believe it is, and then you have that 3 or 4 minute climb that tends to separate everybody out. And that was always a separator for me. Although sometimes Sometimes I didn't even make the cut on the long drag out of town. And I imagine, here we go, another group. Let's see, they're doing about 2.7 to 3.2. Okay, pretty good. Well, and here's Coco coming up, and then Maria coming up after that. Okay. Still a little fast in my blood, unfortunately. But, gosh, and I had something I was gonna ask or share. But it has escaped me. Well, we've got some really good contenders here on the sprint. I think the lowest I saw was 14-something last lap. I don't know if they're gonna sprint every lap. We'll see. That'd be a neat place to get past at on the sprint zone. That is so cool when you see people flying by you like that. Yeah, 14.87. That is pretty good. It's pretty good there. Well, there's Maria. At least I think it's Maria. Or I don't know who that is because it's not showing up on the thing anymore. We'll see. If I get enough advance notice and it's 1.5, 1.6, I may hang with him for half a lap. My heart rate's doing pretty good, feeling pretty good. We'll maybe spice it up a little bit there. Yes, of course. Absolutely. So, James, with these tours nowadays, are they keeping track of places at the end? Like what place you come in? Or is it kind of just zeroed out at the end? You know, right now during the game, I've got, I'm in 376th place, but I know when you finish, it's like some of these events, they don't even put a placing. I don't know if they're doing that these days with Zwift, because it looks like they don't even do races now. You know how back in the day they would have a race component and then they would have a group ride component. Oh, there it goes. What was that? I didn't even see the bot. I really did not see the bot there. Let me try to jump on ahead and see who they were. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a B bot. Where is it? 2.6, yeah. Say goodbye to that one. So even though it's got a yellow marker, it's actually blue. So let them go. Who we got coming up now? Okay, just another fast group. Trying to catch Coco. They said one more time. Wow, they are already 2 laps in. On their last lap. That's pretty fast. I did get laps, that is true. All right. Okay. And with the placings in Zwift Power, James, do you know if they are awarding points, ranking points for these events, or is it just to keep track of where you finished? Another thing I'm curious about. Let's see here. We got another group. Well, these are just little mini groups. I'm going to try to catch on a group here at some point. Hopefully not on the climb. And if so, I'll bump it up to 1.5, maybe a little higher, depending on how much of a gap I have to close here in effort. But anyhow, I'm really thankful to be back on Zwift and back live streaming with y'all. I thank you guys for joining in today. And like I said, this will be so much more fun for y'all to watch and participate in if we have some folks riding together. I'm just not up to doing anything anything noteworthy in terms of racing is concerned these days. So, you know, if we want to have something interesting to watch other than a whole bunch of people flying by, feel free to join me. Okay. All right. So in answer to the rankings question, James, I believe you're answering is that it's probably a no because it's considered a group ride. That's what I thought it was. I thought in times past, any group rides type of events that I joined did neither added to or took away from my Zwift ranking, which once upon a time was not all that bad. I was actually in the top 1,000 in the C category once upon a time, but no more, unfortunately, no more. Probably not even a, definitely not a C rider these days. And I don't know, but Zwift racing has gotten so competitive. I've seen some of my friends' feeds and where they place and the effort that they do. Even in the D category, it's like if you do 2.5 in the D category, you're still not guaranteed a top placing because it is just so competitive out there in Zwift. How many of you guys actually are racing in Zwift these days? And if so, how much has it changed in the last year or two? Have you noticed a change? You know, have you noticed a change in terms of difficulty, quality of riders that have joined in? Because I'm pretty sure the app has become so much more popular in the last couple of years, especially since the pandemic started. But I'm curious to know if any of you still enjoy racing. And, you know, is it doable? Is it winnable anymore? Is cheating even more rampant than it was back then? And for that matter, is the cheating even detectable anymore? Are people getting so good at it that they're slipping under the radar, you know? I don't know. It seems in the real world that when the level of surveillance is increased, that the level of sophistication of the cheating goes up. You know, like with these folks using battery-powered. Gosh, wow. Okay, 2.2. No, probably not. Probably not. But they left Maria in the dust. Goodbye, Maria. You are not part of your group anymore. They do not care. I guess because they're on the last lap, is my guess. And they are like horses heading for the barn. They don't need a bot anymore. But, you know, just curious as to what racing is like these days. I have a friend on the team that still does some racing, I think in the C category. And he doesn't finish last, but at the level of intensity that he's riding at, he should be close to the top most of the time. But that's not always the case. And I'm just wondering, you know, what's going on in the world of racing these days. You know, what I would love to do, and I'm putting the word out to any Finish Strong member that's watching this, if you are racing in the world of Zwift and you want a commentator, I'm your man. I'll commentate your race for you if you want me to. Just give me enough advance notice. I will put you in the driver's seat, let you do all the work, and I'll sit back and talk about it here on this channel. Would love to do that. So, Brad, if that's you, hit me up. Anybody else who rides for Finish Strong and Zwift wants to have their stream broadcast? It would basically be like what they do in the the other broadcasts that Nathan does, where he basically puts a little. I think he puts he joins the event and he just sits at the starting line. Is what his avatar does, so that he can see all the riders. I think that's how they do it on those Zwift Community Live broadcasts, and certainly I could do the same. But we'd love to try it out. But I think it would be a little weird, maybe even creepy, to commentate on a rider I do not know. So not looking to broadcast anybody's races except someone that I actually know. But I think it would be cool. I'd love to do it. I would love to do it. The world of Zwift is pretty fascinating. And it's getting bigger. I can't say every day, but on a regular basis, they are expanding the world of Zwift. And you know, I sometimes wonder if maybe Richmond is overdue for maybe an expansion. What do you guys think? Do you think they should invest some more tarmac in the world of Richmond, or being a UCI event world? Maybe it stands alone just fine as it is, with no additional updates. Let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Now, none of these riders are riding at 1.5 that are going by. Not even close. Not even close enough for me to try to latch on. So we'll just keep pedaling. If we get to the start-finish without latching onto a group, I'll commit to doing 1.5 watts per kilo for the last lap. We'll make it a little more interesting, but no sprint. Sorry, guys. No sprint. But I will up the ante a little bit. If nothing else, just to make the broadcast wrap up a little bit quicker, because we are now at 31 minutes in to this event. And my effort level has been rock steady. Look at that. Just a couple of blips here and there. Almost looks like an EKG. But it is not. That is a testament to how flat this course is. That is a testament to how flat this course is. That you can just do a nice, steady pedal effort with very little variation. All right. Okay, well, James, so you you got some gumption to do some C races. Okay, good. Very good. Mid to high C. Well, that is great. Well, very, very good. James, I wish you well on that, especially as your foot heals, and we'll see how things go when you come back on the live stream. Let me know how things progress with you. You know, as for me, I think part of what I was going through in life, you know, I started these live streams when I was like 47, I guess, and now I'm maybe 48, and I'm 53 now. And I was feeling really great there for a while. I mean, felt like I was indestructible until I wasn't. Until I wasn't. And now I have to probably act my age, I guess, at this point, which is perfectly okay with me. People keep telling me I don't look 53. I don't know. But I definitely don't feel like I'm 20 anymore, that is for sure. You know, I kept joking with my wife back when I first took up cycling about 6 or 7 years ago that my Garmin was telling me that my fitness age was 20. And I kept joking with her that she married a 20-year-old. And she had a good laugh out of that. You know, it was kind of funny. I don't know if they can really... These must be some of the finishers here. I see some of them lining up for their sprint. We've got 14 watts kilo here. S. Fielder is kicking it up a gear. He's holding steady at 11.1 watts per kilo, and he has finished, is my belief. I think they finished. That must be where they're finishing. And then once they finish, they just disappear. They drop off. Yep, that's what they're doing. All right, we got some great finishers here. Didn't catch the top finishers here at the line. That would have been great to just post up here at the finish line and just watch these guys come racing by. That would have been worth sitting here and watching. All right. Well, I said I was going to kick it up to 1.5. Let me see where we're at. See what a steady 1.5 feels like. Okay, right about here. Or maybe, well, I don't know if that's a first name or last name of the person that's in front of me. Alamenda. I guess that's a last name. We'll let Alameda pace me. Or maybe they want me to pace them. Either way is fine with me. Unless, of course, something happens here. Okay, there we go. 1.5. I wasn't changing my pedaling, but my watts per kilo was changing there. Ah, yes, a disc wheel. That might have been a good asset to have on this event. We just got the trusty old Tron today. How many of you out there are still working on getting your Tron bike? Any new riders out there working towards their 50,000 meters? It is quite an effort, let me tell you. You know, I'm sad that they dethroned the Tron as the fastest bike in Zwift. I mean, I understand disc wheel sets and all, but just as a standard bike, the Tron really should be almost unmatched for all the effort that it takes to get it, for sure, right? You know, and back in the day when I got it, it was pretty much the top bike. You know, unless you were lucky, one of those lucky ones that had the, wasn't even the 858, it was the, what was it, the 808 Super 9, I think is what it was. That was the top wheel set in Zwift, back when I first started. But nowadays, it's you know, it's a mixture of wheels and frame. And then if you've got rolling terrain or hilly terrain, it's still different. Still not the Tron bike. But I do think that the Tron bike can hold its own very well on some bumpy terrain. Not outright climbs, but not super flat. Unless you want to stay, you know, huddled in the pack, you know. I think the Tron bike is great for sprints and great for bumpy terrain. What do you guys think? I think it has just the right combination of aero and lightness for a great sprint. Much better than the other frames with the disc combo because they are heavy. They are heavy, and under that acceleration, I don't think they have the edge. I don't think the aero benefits outweigh the inertia on these sprints. I think the Tron is still the one to beat. Not a lot of times do you see a disc come across the line first in these Zwift races. Every so often you see it. But you see a lot of Trons finish first. A lot of Trons. So that's my amateur analysis. All right, well, the heart rate has climbed for sure. And I am feeling it just a little bit. So I think one lap was a wise choice. Just one lap. That, and I think the commentary is what's keeping my heart rate up. I bumped the fan up too, for good measure. Well, thank you, James. Yeah, I'm trying. Great to have you. Thank you. Have a great lunch, and we'll catch you on the next live stream, James. Thanks for joining in. Well, and folks, I am soon to be finished here too. In fact, I think this is about as fast as I'm going to get. I wish I'd done it just a minute earlier. Oh well. We're going to drop speed real quick here. Okay, yeah, we're not climbing yet. Okay, so that actually was just about perfectly timed. Yeah, I really don't want my heart rate to get any higher, so I'm going to just keep it maybe just a tad south of 1.5 as we wrap up here. Yeah, I think I'm guessing that the talking is what's pushing it up a little higher, the heart rate, is my guess, because I'm spending less time breathing and more time exhaling. such as it is. Any of you can identify with getting old? Let me know. All right. All right, well, this lap is going, I'm sure, considerably faster since we are going 50% more effort here. And we should be wrapping this up right quick. Again, no sprinting, folks, sorry. All right. Well, I don't think we are ever going to see the last bot lap us. So I think we are going to wrap up here without a photo finish. With if it's not Maria, I wonder who the last bot's name is. I didn't catch it. All right, well, I think this amount of time and this amount of effort is definitely closest to the high side I've wanted to get these days on the bike. So I pray, Lord willing, that my body adapts well to the fitness that I have injected into it, and we'll see how it goes. If so, you'll see me on stage 3. I don't know exactly what the schedule is, when stage 3 is coming up. I suppose I could look it up. But truth be told, I think the way that these these stages work is they're usually about 3 or 4 days in length. And then they move on to the next one. So I'm not exactly sure when 2 wraps up. But I imagine it'll be in the next day or 2. And then we'll be on to stage 3. Which I did not, unfortunately, get a chance to ask James about. And see what his surveillance on his recon, I should say, on stage 3 might be. For those of you who are on the Twitch channel and you follow Zwift, let me know what you think. What you think about Zwift and about the Tour de Zwift. If any of you are doing that on that platform. And hey, if you're live streaming, feel free to post your link to your channel on the broadcast here. If you're live streaming Zwift, be happy to reciprocate. All right, trying to find the right gear here for the finish, and it is coming up. There is the finish line. Speed limit of 25. I have no problem with that. No problem with that today. It's one thing you'll never see in the world of Zwift. You'll never see a police officer pulling somebody over. Though there have been a few that should have been stopped by the Zwift police. There have been a few in the day. But you know, I haven't seen those folks in a very long time. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And you know who I'm talking about if you're the one that does it. Those that have an Ant Plus simulator, I think is what it's called, where you simulate the watts and you just basically roll through with no effort at whatever you tell the computer to roll at. I haven't seen many of those bots in the last 6 months to a year. They have virtually disappeared. But if you've never met one, folks, you will know when you see them, because they will fly by at the speed of a jet airplane. I don't know how many theoretical watts that would be, but I think the display maxes out at 2,000 watts. So you know they're doing in excess of that. Man, gotta stretch these legs and rest the backside here. All right, here goes the sprint at 1.6 7 watts a kilo. All right, we got somebody here trying to contend. Trying to contend for that spot 370, 371. Frankly, I don't know if I can even hold on to 372. We got somebody coming up fast here at 3.4 watts a kilo. Oh, they're way back. Never mind. We got it. I can coast on in. Post up even if I want to. Woohoo! 88 watts. Now if I only had a DeLorean. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's it. That's stage 2 under the bridge behind us. Appreciate you guys watching, joining in. Again, I will, as a reminder for those who are on earlier or maybe not, if you haven't been on earlier, I am going to, let me answer this question here. I think staying here is by default. Anyway, I will, in the comments after the stream post to YouTube, I will look up, set a date, I'll post the date and time of the next ride, and you all can join along with us. All right? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and soft pedal my way to a cool down here. Guys, have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Hope it's a sunny day where we're at in the world. Take care. God bless. And as always, finish strong. Take care.